Hello students. This is a video to help you continue on your practice with penmanship when it comes to writing out Greek letters. And so this is just a basic video tutorial to show you how I write letters, and this is the order in which I think it would be helpful for you to practice, not just for recognition, but to make certain that your penmanship with this new language, this new alphabet, is up to snuff. Your diligence and your discipline right now with it is going to pay off dividends in the future. And so without further ado, the 24 letters of the alpha, beta, gammas. I'll do a capital letter and a lowercase letter. And so we begin with alpha. Alpha just looks like an A in Roman characters. The lowercase a in English kind of looks like that, the Roman character, and that is not what we do for a lowercase alpha in Greek. In Greek, you start at the top right and you make sort of a fish like this. If you wanted to fill out the fish, of course, you can make a back fin, but no. This is like a fish without a back fin there. Alpha, capital alpha and lowercase alpha. And you see what I've done here? It's like being in first grade and learning to print all over again. We have this middle line here, we have the center line here, and we have this top line here to define where things are going above or below. And so there's an uppercase alpha in Greek, and the lowercase alpha. One stroke. If you can just get it in one stroke, there's your lowercase alpha. We'll go on to beta. Beta, the capital, of course, just looks like a B, a capital B in Roman characters in English. The lowercase, you're going to make something starting at the bottom left, right here, that looks like a 3, and then you carry that line all the way down. Okay, that's a lowercase b. Notice that it's in the upper register and the lower register, and then its tail goes below the lower register as well. And so once again, capital beta and lowercase beta in Greek. One stroke with that lowercase beta. And if you make it like that, just practice, build the habit. It'll become second nature soon and very soon. Next letter is gamma. Gamma is the cornerstone right there. There's capital gamma. And lowercase gamma always goes into the lower register and below the bottom line in one stroke. Gamma, the uppercase like this, and then you start top left, and you're going to end top right after you make a loop in the bottom. That's a G sound, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma. The next one is the D sound, delta. Deltas are called deltas because they look like delta. There's a triangle. That's the letter D, delta. The lowercase delta kind of looks like a curly musical note like this. It looks similar to what we would have as lowercase printing of the D in English or with the Roman characters. But be careful. It's not a D, it's a delta. And so there's the triangle. Make sure all of your corners connect. And then you make the delta lowercase look like that. Delta. Epsilon, uppercase in Greek, just looks like our letter E. When I make the lowercase epsilon, as you will always in the lower register here, it looks sort of like a backwards 3 or a sideways M, the golden arches or something like that. Some people make the lowercase epsilon like this in 2 strokes. I'm going to encourage you not to do that. Do it like I do. One stroke. There's your uppercase E, and there's your, or epsilon, and there's your lowercase epsilon. The next letter is zeta. It has a sort of ZD sound. You can just say zeta if you want. There it is, uppercase zeta, and it looks like a Z as well. The lowercase covers both registers, top and bottom, and even dips below the line. And you just have to practice doing this. That's a lowercase zeta. So practice, not second nature when you first start. There's an uppercase, and there's a lowercase zeta. One stroke on that lowercase letter. The next letter is eta. It looks like our English letter H in the uppercase, but then it looks like this in the lowercase. Maybe a fancy longish lowercase n, but it's actually a long E sound, right? The uppercase, again, capital H. And the lowercase, it's going to stay in the lower register and then dip below the bottom line at the end. So that's an A sound. Eta. The next letter in our Greek alphabet is theta. The TH, the soft, unvoiced TH sound. Theta. It's this O with a line through it, right? A lowercase letter covers both registers as well, usually printed more narrowly, but try to do it in one stroke. You start the O like this, and then curly Q it like that, and that's a theta in one stroke. Once again, uppercase, there it is, nice and round with a line through it, and then your theta can look kind of like this. I don't like that first lowercase theta I made. It really should be more like that, and then your uppercase and then your lowercase in one stroke, starting here and then going all the way around and then coming back on through from left to right. That's lowercase theta. That's how I draw it. Encourage you to do the same thing. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota. Just like the Jedi Master Yoda. Yoda is a capital I. It looks like a capital I in Roman characters, I. And the lowercase just stays in the lower register as well. Simplest letter to make. It looks like a lowercase I with just a little curve at the end. Do not put a dot on the I. This is not English. Don't ever do that. This is its own language, okay? So what we have is Yoda, uppercase and lowercase, one stroke. Kappa is the next one. It looks like a big letter K, and it makes the same sound, K, but this is called kappa, and the lowercase looks exactly the same, only it stays in the bottom register. It does not look like this, as you may have learned to print when you were a younger person. That's the letter K. This is a kappa in Greek, and so the lowercase just stays right there, kappa. Lambda is the next letter, and it looks like a delta but without a bottom. You see, it looks like this chalet roof. And the lowercase, it starts in the lower register and then it continues on from the top center all the way down to the bottom right. They both make the L sound, right? This is a uppercase lambda, and this is a lowercase lambda. 2 strokes for that lowercase lambda. The next letter is mu, and it looks like a letter M, and it makes that M sound, mu. The a lowercase mu, I always do in 2 strokes. I start with a line that goes from top to bottom, from the center line down below the bottom line, and then I do something that looks like an English letter U. You see that sort of makes it look like a fanciful M. That's mu. So once again, capital M, just like in English, and then I do in 2 strokes mu like that, mu. Next letter is nu, another nasal consonant, nu. It looks like a capital letter N in English, and then the lowercase, it looks like our letter V. Be sure you remember that's not a V sound, that's an N sound. 1 stroke, top to the southeast, and then back up to the northeast for that lowercase n. Uppercase, and 1 stroke, lowercase nu. There it is. Xi is an interesting sound. It's just the letter X, or KS, right? X, like that. And it's just 3 lines, horizontal lines, top, middle, and bottom. The lowercase you have to practice, because that does not come second nature to anyone. In fact, I kind of messed up because I was overthinking it, so that's sort of a Xi. Let's see. Let me do a... That's a better Xi. It's pretty messy. But, you know, it looks like a curly Q E or something like that for the lowercase. So practice it. It's kind of weird doing this with an Apple Pencil. I'm usually drawing smaller letters, but like you, I have to pay attention to my penmanship too. This is lowercase and uppercase Xi, the X sound in the middle of the alphabet. The next letter is probably the easiest because it's Omicron. The big one looks like this. The small one looks like this. You're just drawing eggs all over the place. Big Omicron, small Omicron. There's Omicron. Omicron. The next letter is P, and then Rho, and then Sigma. So what's a P look like? This is what a P looks like, kind of like a Roman numeral 2. A lowercase p is going to look like what you're used to in math when you're trying to do pi, right? There it is. Lowercase p makes the p sound. Uppercase p and lowercase p in the bottom register. P. This letter, Rho, looks like the capital P in our English alphabet, in the Roman characters, but it makes the R sound. And so you need to remember this about Greek. That P does not make a P sound, it makes an R sound. It's a Rho. The lowercase Rho should be done in one stroke like this. Bottom register and down below the bottom line. Rho. Capital and lowercase. There it is. Sigma, capital Sigma, is pointy like this. But the lowercase sigma starts at the top center, comes around in a clockwise circle, and gives ourselves a baseball hat on the end. That's a sigma. All right. So sigma, capital, looks like this, like a sideways letter M. But then we've got this piece right here. That's the lowercase sigma. Sigma, the S sound. The final sigma at the end of a letter looks like a C with a little tail on the end of it. And it's only going to be in the lower register, and its tail comes out down below the bottom line. That's final sigma. Tau is the next letter. It looks like a capital letter T. The lowercase t looks like a Yoda with a hat on it. 2 strokes. Uppercase tau and lowercase tau. Tau. Upsilon is the next letter, and it looks like the capital letter Y and a lowercase u, upsilon. The capital upsilon looks like this. The lowercase upsilon looks like a lowercase u. Never make it like that with a tail. This is not English. We're doing Greek. Just do it like that. Upsilon. Only 4 letters left. The next one is phi. Circle with a vertical line through it is the capital phi. The lowercase phi should be done in one stroke, such like this. I don't know what just happened there. Okay. So phi, lowercase, starts in the bottom register, and then its tail goes down below the bottom line. Again, there's your uppercase phi, but one stroke from the middle to the left and around to the right and all the way down. That's a lowercase phi. The next letter is chi, like a aspirated K sound, chi, like this. And the uppercase looks like our letter X, but it's pronounced ki. The lowercase always begins in the bottom register and goes below the bottom line. 2 strokes, capital ki and lowercase ki. That's how I draw them. Practice it yourself that way too. Ki. Next letter is psi. Psi looks like a trident from the upper register to the lower register. The lowercase just goes into the lower register, and it looks the same as the spear goes down below the bottom line. Psi. And finally, the last letter of the Greek alphabet, omega. Omega looks like this in the uppercase. And in the lowercase, it looks like our W, a kind of curly W. Omega. The big O. Omega. Anyway, that's the Greek alphabet and how I draw the letters. The more you practice, the more consistent you are with it, the better you're going to be at this, the better you'll get, and the more confident you'll be as you go forward into these first weeks and into your next semester even of the Greek language. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.